What up, though, everybody, and welcome to Lions Nation Unite. I am Spencer Raxter of Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also, give Lions Nation Unite a follow on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Make sure you drop a follow and interact with the Lions Nation Unite posts. We appreciate it so much. And if you want some of this sweet merch, go to lionsnationunite.com. You know where to get the best merch in the game. It's Lions Nation Unite. Lions Nation Unite is a platform created by Herman Moore, number 84 from the Detroit Lions, to bring Lions content creators from all different walks of life together and keep you guys up to date with some of the best information and best takes in Lions content creation. Welcome to Lions Nation Unite. And obviously, it's draft season. NFL draft just got wrapped up. Brad Holmes did what Brad Holmes does. He took his guys. How many times are we going to be like, oh, Brad Holmes, he reached there. That was a reach a little bit. He takes his guys. He goes off his board and his board alone, not your board, not Mel Kiper's board, not the ESPN big board. Brad Holmes has his own board and takes his own guys and rates them accordingly. He might take a peek at one Spencer Raxter's board as well, because I don't know if you remember or not, but the last time we were together here before the draft, I was telling you guys at 28, I could really see the Detroit Lions taking a guy out of Ohio State named Tyleik Williams, big defensive tackle. I think he's really good. I think he's a very athletic guy, and he seems like somebody Brad Holmes would like. And they had a top 30 visit with him, and they went to his pro day. And on draft day, Brad Holmes went out there and he took Ohio State defensive tackle Tyleik Williams. And obviously, it feels good to be right, but it's also such a good pick for the Detroit Lions. This guy is a monster in the middle. He really is. He's 6'3", 340 pounds almost. He ran a 4.6 40-yard dash. He could play the three tech. He's big enough to play the nose tackle as well. And the guy is an absolute run stuffer. Not only is he a very, very good run stuffer, he is also a freak athlete. Surprise, surprise, Brad Holmes drafted a freak athlete. When you put on the tape of Tyleik Williams, the first thing that really stands out is his lateral quickness and his the way he can get down the line so fast. Like, he gets from his interior defensive line position out into space, out into the flats, out into other areas outside of the tackle box to chase down running backs and quarterbacks and make plays in the backfield. The guy had 28 tackles for loss in 51 games at Ohio State to tie with 11 and a half sacks and 136 combined tackles. Also, 10 passes defended. They liked to put him out in like a little coverage a little bit at Ohio State. The big man showed a pretty good ability of awareness on the football field. He knows where he is. He knows what's going to happen. He knows that if he can't get to the quarterback or he can't beat his man, he's going to get his hands up. And at 6'3", with some big meaty claws, he's going to knock down a couple balls. Like I said, Ohio State even bumped him out into coverage a few times. And we know Aaron Glenn used to like to do that. We'll see if Calvin Shepard, follows from that same tree. But Tyleik Williams is a very, very talented interior defensive tackle. I think he was the third best defensive tackle in this draft. If you ask me, I would have taken him over Kenneth Grant, and I would have taken him over Derek Harmon as well. Obviously, Kenneth Grant went way higher than a lot of people was projecting him, but I'm not mad at that. I just think Tyleik Williams is more versatile than Kenneth Grant. But I just think this guy can do a lot of different things. He is great at his balance at the point of attack. He is not getting knocked off balance by linemen, whether it be offensive linemen or running backs or tight ends coming to chip block him. Hits from the side really don't knock him off his spot, and that is a part of him being 6'3", 340 pounds. He has very, very good, I know I already said it, but lateral agility to stretch plays down the line. If you put on the tape, that is one thing that you see. And another thing that you see from him is he's an absolute dog. Absolute dog. You have to know what Brad Holmes goes after in this draft by now, in these draft interviews, in all of his draft picks. I think the two most important things for Brad Holmes, outside of obviously talent, are nastiness, tenacity, and the way you attack the football field, and obviously the character that it belongs to and the person it belongs to. On top of him living by the Raz Bible, Brad Holmes likes nasty, aggressive athletes, and Tyleik Williams fits that mold 110%. The way he moves for a 6'3", 300 and almost 40-pound man should not be real. He runs a 4.6 40. His lateral quickness to get down the line is something you see out of smaller and slighter defensive tackles. He's big enough to play the nose tackle and has enough situational awareness and ability to get around guys to play the three tech. This is a guy that looks like he's going to be an Aleem McNeil clone. And that would be amazing if Brad Holmes got another Aleem McNeil in this draft class. I really like Tyleik Williams. I think he is going to be an immediate impact player on the the defensive line for the Detroit Lions. And obviously, he's going to need to be with aforementioned Aleem McNeil more than likely starting the season on the PUP list and probably losing 6 to 8 games this season. So he is going to need to play a key role. He's going to rotate with guys like Levi Onwuzurike and Mekhi Wingo. I wouldn't be surprised if they started Levi Onwuzurike and DJ Reader and then had Mekhi Wingo kind of play some edge while Tyleik Williams is that first guy, three tech rotating off the bench. I think that is a perfect spot for him. He can get his bearings under him. He is not forced to start day one because you're comfortable starting Levi Onwuzurike at that three tech spot. And obviously, DJ Reader has the nose tackle spot locked down. Behind DJ Reader, you have Roy Lopez. You also have a guy in Mekhi Wingo, like I said, that can play the interior defensive line as well as the edge spot. So there's not a lot of pressure for Tyleik Williams to have to come in here and immediately contribute, even with Aleem McNeil being out for the beginning of the season at the very least. I think that's going to help him. I think a guy in Casey Rogers, who is one of the best defensive line coaches in the NFL, you look at what he did in Tampa Bay. His Tampa Bay offensive line was never under 5th when it came to stopping the run and never under 8th when it came to sacking the quarterback. He produces elite defensive lines, and he's got a lot of weapons to work with, one of them being one he's going to have to mold a little bit, but a guy that had a lot of experience in college as well at Tyleik Williams. Like I said, he played 51 games at Ohio State. He made a lot of plays in that time with 11 and a half sacks coming out of it. Obviously, he's going to need to bump those numbers up a little bit. But when you look at the amount of sacks that other defensive linemen in this draft class have, he's right up there at the top. And he's played a little bit more games than them, but he has over 10 tackles for loss more than Derek Harmon, who only played 3 less games than Tyleik Williams. So I think he is such a good fit for what they like to do defensively. I think he is the epitome of what Brad Holmes wanted in a draft pick when you look at his athleticism, his ability to play multiple spots on that interior defensive line, his nastiness, and his overall talent. I really love this pick by Brad Holmes. At 28, I believe you got a guy that is going to be a problem in the interior defensive line for a while for the Detroit Lions. Once DJ Reader has to move on, because you're probably not going to pick up his contract after this season, you will be able to pair Tyleik Williams and Aleem McNeil in between Aiden Hutchinson and whoever you want at that other edge position. So this is a great piece to get younger on that interior defensive line to kind of solidify that spot for the upcoming future. And to have a guy that can give you an impact right now, because he's going to go in there and he is going to be nasty. He is a guy that is extremely tough to guard with one person. It's going to be tough even for NFL centers and NFL guards to try to stand one-on-one with this guy. And when you have Aiden Hutchinson on the other side of you, you're going to be seeing a lot of one-on-one looks. I'm excited to see what he can do in this system. I'm excited to see what he can do in the NFL, but I expect Tyleik Williams to have a productive rookie year. I expect him to be a guy that's going to play big snaps and play important downs for this Detroit Lions defense, because he's been there and he's done it before with Ohio State. This is a guy who's gone deep in his playoff career every year. This is a guy who's won a national championship. He knows what it means to step up in big games. He knows what it means to play when the fate of your season is on the line every week with that new format in the college football playoff. So that'll give him a little bit of advantage. Obviously, it's still the NFL, so it is a learning curve and it is a bump you're going to have to take. But how many times have we talked about this defensive line with the Lions and the offensive line? Fire with fire, iron with iron. He is going to be going up against Frank Ragnow, Penei Sewell, Tate Rattle, Christian Mahogany, all of these great offensive linemen in camp and at practice every day. I can't wait to see those rookie camp one-on-ones with Tate Ratledge versus Tyleik Williams, with Miles Frazier versus Tyleik Williams, man. These guys are going to be going after each other in practice, and it's only going to bring out the best of them. So I absolutely love this pick by Brett Holmes. And if there are people that are poo-pooing it, whatever. This is a guy that was extremely high on my board. This is a guy I viewed as the third best defensive tackle in this draft, and Brad Holmes got him at 28. I know I was kind of on an island with that, but I am extremely happy with this pick. Like I said, I think he's going to come in there and make plays immediately. His athleticism pops off on the tape. You should not be 6'3" and almost 340 pounds and moving the way he is moving. The guy is a freak athlete, and I'm excited to see what he can do on this Detroit Lions defensive line. Appreciate you guys tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Get some merch at LionsNationUnite.com. I am Spencer Raxter of Woodward Sports. This is Lions Nation Unite, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.